In this video, we're going to do some guided exam question practice on the 2020 question that came up on electron spin diagrams. Now, this is only a very short section of a question. It was worth 6 marks of a much bigger question. But the reason why I have picked this one out to do is nothing similar to this has kind of come up before. So it's definitely a slightly maybe tricky one that some people got caught out by. All right, so let's go ahead and start reading it. It says that the diagram represents the 10 electrons in the 4s and 3d sublevels of a neutral atom of a certain element in the ground state. And it's asking you to work out what is the element. Okay, so first of all, I want, for some of us who might be able to figure this out all by ourselves, I want to give you the opportunity before I actually give you any hints or clues as to how to do this. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you an opportunity to work out what the element is. So you would need a periodic table. This is the periodic table you would get in the exam in the log tables. Okay, so I'm going to try and leave it so you can see both the diagram and the periodic table. I'm hoping that you can make out the details. So pause the video and see, can you work out what element it is? Do that now. Okay, so you should only be playing if you've had a go at working out what element it is. Now, the one mistake that people would make here is that they would see this here, that there were 10 electrons, and they would count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they would say, okay, well, if this is an element with 10 electrons, then that must be the element with the atomic number 10, and they would write neon. Neon is not correct. This is wrong, okay? Now, it's wrong because it's telling us that these 10 electrons are in the 4s and the 3d sublevels. That means there's other electrons here that haven't been talked about. This is only the electrons in the 4s and the 3d. So everything before this must also be full, because the electrons would not be in the 4s and the 3d if it wasn't already full. So we don't actually know how many of the electrons there are in total. So we need to be able to use the periodic table to work out what element this is. So now that I've told you that, I'll give you another chance to pause the video, see can you figure this out. It's not neon. Pause the video and do that now. Okay, so hopefully you work this out. You should only be playing if you've had a good go at working it out. Okay, so the way we can do this is if we look for where is the 4s sublevel. So we know that on the periodic table, this is the first period, this is the second period, this is the third period, and this is the fourth period. This is the 4s block, and this is where the 4s sublevel is. So if we've got 4s2, then that's these two elements taken care of. So that's the 4s, they're taken care of. And then this section here, this is the 3d sublevel. Okay, this is where the electrons are for the 3d sublevel. And how many are there here? There are 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So what we got to do is we've got to find out which one of these is basically the 8th element in the 3D block. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the element here, which has this configuration with electrons in the 4s and the 3D sublevels, like that, with 8 electrons in the 3D sublevel, that is going to be nickel. So the correct answer here was nickel. Well done if you figured that out either by yourself or you figured it out after the first clue, or even if you figured it out and you understood what I mean after I started really working through. If you got there before I did, well done, okay? If you didn't get it right, okay, if you finished and you got it right before me, well done. You can go ahead and stop the video. If you didn't get it right, let's try another one so that you can practice this. So I'm going to quickly get rid of all of this stuff. And what if I told you that we had an element that had electrons like this? So if this was the 3s and it had 2, and this was, sorry, not the, yeah, the 3s, and this was the 3p. We had okay, what element would this be? So pause the video and work this out now. Okay, so there's the periodic table, and there is the element, and the electrons are in the 3s and the 3p sublevels. That's how many there are. See if you can work that one out. Okay, so hopefully you were able to do that and you got the element chlorine. If you got the element chlorine, then you got the hang of how to do this. The reason I know this, well, this is the 3s sublevel, and there's 2 in there. And then we've got the 3p sublevel, which is in here, and we've got 5 electrons in here. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th element here, and it's chlorine. Okay, so well done if you got that right, got the hang of it. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.